Hi guys, welcome to Little Wicket Railway. I'm Rob and this is just a quick one to cover the news that Hornby are selling the Oxford Diecast brand. Seeing as I did my video on Hornby finances recently, I thought this was worth talking about, and apologies if you can hear any explosions in the background. It's bonfire night here in the UK, so there may be a few fireworks going off every so often, but back to the news. First thing this morning, Hornby plc gave notice to the stock market saying that they're going to sell LCD Enterprises Limited, and that's the company which owns the Oxford Diecast brand. Oxford Diecast claims to be one of the world's leading diecast brands, and it manufactures a range of metal vehicles. They're selling it to EKD Enterprises Limited for consideration of 1.38 million. Apparently the company's been loss-making for the last couple of years, 187k this year and 113k for the previous period. And it also sounds like Oxford Diecast stock makes up around 2.5 million or 11% of the Hornby inventories balance, and it's considered to be slow moving. So that's a significant chunk gone from that inventories balance, which Hornby were trying to reduce as a priority. Hornby say their reason for selling is because Oxford Diecast is no longer aligned with the core activities of the group. It allows streamlining of the group's business, enabling resources and investments to be focused on the core brands. And it's a simplification of our proposition in the collectible diecast category, allowing them to focus exclusively on Corgi in the space. And that makes sense because Corgi and Oxford Diecast largely occupy the same market space. They expect this sale to go through in December, and I think this is a really positive step from Hornby as part of the process to make the company profitable again. Mike Ashley made quite a large investment in them not so long ago, and I think as part of that deal there was also a consultancy element, so I wonder if this is a result of his influence. Overall though, it seems like the investment in Oxford Diecast didn't really pay off. Lynden Davies, who currently sits on the Hornby plc board as a non-exec director, was heavily involved with LCD, the company they're selling, and is also involved with EKD, the company buying it. Hornby acquired 49% of LCD in 2017 and the remainder of the business in 2021 for slightly under 3 million, and that's the book value it holds on the balance sheet at the moment. And they're selling it for consideration of just under 1.4 million. So they've lost about 1.6 million on that deal over the last few years. So they're quite literally cutting their losses on this one. It's worth noting that the 1.4 million that they're getting for selling the company isn't all cash that will go straight into the bank when the sale completes. Only 1.1 million of it is actual cash. 250,000 comes in on completion, which should be before the end of the calendar year. Then there are 5 lots of 170k to be paid annually over the next 5 years. So that totals 1.1 million of cash, but in real terms, because money today is worth more than money in the future, the present value is actually less than 1.1 million. If the new owners, EKD, fail to keep up with those annual payments, then there is a penalty of 600k, although in the future, if they can't pay 170k, then it's unlikely they're going to also be able to pay a massive penalty. But I guess that's one for the lawyers to sort out if it ever happens. The remaining 280k of consideration relates to the shares that Lynden Davies holds in Hornby that he'll be transferring back to them. He currently holds 1.5 million shares, representing 0.9% of Hornby's share capital, and those are being bought by Hornby for just £1. Hornby are then going to cancel those shares. So it seems like Lynden Davies, or his family businesses, have done quite well out of this situation. They sold Oxford Diecast to Hornby for 3 million and essentially bought it back for 1.4. As part of the transaction, Lynden will leave his role as non-exec director on the board, which makes sense. So there we go, some financial news that I thought was worth mentioning as it relates to Hornby, and it follows on from the previous video I did about their profitability. Decisions like this, slicing off a part of the business that doesn't really fit and wasn't making any money, show that Hornby are serious about turning the business around, and I look forward to seeing their next set of accounts to see what impact this has. Although I don't expect to see profits just yet, I think they've probably got some way to go. What isn't clear to me, and to be fair, I haven't had a lot of time to do my research into this, is what it means for Oxford Rail as a brand. I assume the relationship it currently has with Hornby is unchanged and there's no mention of it in the notice. If you've got any more information or any thoughts on the situation, then let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will hopefully see you again soon.